Alright, what's going on everyone? How are we doing today? We're starting with the patch notes. This time around apparently. Let me actually get the stream in here, just in case. Diablo 4. Where's their stream? Diablo channel. That should why the hell am I down here? There we go. You can just leave this here. Whenever it starts, we will know. It should start in 45 minutes. Let me just get some music going here. For the Twitch side. YouTube side, sadly you guys have to, you know, get your own music kind of deal. Not much we can do there, sadly. All right. Let's actually get into this patch notes, right? I'll most likely do put the video out on the channel, like just with this part of the patch notes. We'll also, maybe I'll add some of the thoughts after the stream. We can revisit the patch notes or something like that. But for now, I just kind of want to see what's the big things that they're gonna do from the PTR. So sanctification-wise, upgrade an affix to great artists can also occur on ancestral items. That was kind of a bug. Affixes and ancestral uniques and mythic items can no longer be replaced. Okay, this is very good for the mythics. For the uniques, kind of a nerf sometimes. Sometimes you kind of want, I guess you just wanted more stats, so whatever, right? Instructor acts replaced by adding 5 to 25 quality ranks. This could be insanely good, especially on your weapons. Right? 25 quality will mean more damage on your weapons. That could be interesting. To have an item power, this is very good, especially for amulets. If you're running legendary amulets, you might be running 750 amulets on season 11, so that's going to be really good. Affix range have been adjusted across the board. In general, affixes values have been increased, and ranges have been narrowed. That's cool. Hopefully we have the limits there. Additional legendary powers have been added. Yeah, Sanctification, you didn't really have anything. Oh, this is just for the affixes from Sanctification. Whatever. Okay. I mean, it's still good. Divine Gift, reduced item quality rewards in pre-tournament difficulties. Yeah, this thing was busted. List of grades. An extra upgrade based on the Divine Gift rank. That's cool. 2 levels instead of 1. Nice. Lesser Evil Invasion. Okay, this is just like small things. Doesn't matter too much. Mythic updates. Lucky... Okay. Did anyone even use this? Melted Out of Selig. So, primary resource range should reduce to 50%. Previous each point of this is what was happening. Now damage is dealt to a primary resource before life, and damage taken this way is reduced. A primary resource is doubled, but maximum life is reduced to 75. Okay, no one is gonna use Art of Selig now, I don't think, right? No one. Like, it was way too busted because there was no caps, and now no one is gonna use this. Oh. Okay, Barbarian got a buff to the strength. This could be big. We get a lot less stats now from strength. It's gonna be weird to have to calculate 1.1 now, but I guess other classes have to do it. Kick with is this properly whatever? Of the 8 box has been doubled. This is big. Honestly, Kick was kinda one of the biggest issues on Kick was the 8 box. We'll have to see how it plays out in game. Maybe this is good enough, maybe it's not, we'll see. Reverted the Fury cap from the PTR. So there's no fury cap now on it. Cool. Leap adjusted attack speed scaling. Whatever that means. This could mean a lot of things. It could mean that you're no longer kind of snapshotting around. What I mean by snapshot is that on the PTR, like for example, when you use teleport, your screen kind of follows a bit behind you. It doesn't snap to the position you teleported to, right? On the kick, it just snaps to that positioning. So whenever you scale a lot of attack speed, it just kind of becomes really weird to play with. Maybe they're referring to that. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it was getting way too much or way too less attack speed. It was a bit inconsistent, I felt, on the attack speed. Personally, I thought it was because I was using like a battle trance that was somehow messing things up, but we'll see. Enhanced Hammer of Ancient, and I created Max Fury up to 100. Fury generation per enemy hit increased by... Okay, this is weird. Now increases maximum fury up to 100. What does that mean? Is this just like free 100 fury? Wait, what? Isn't that a bit busted? And like... That's a really weird buff. Like, it is a buff, but like... You kind of already wanted to use auto on some builds as like kind of a supportive skill. Now any build that uses Ramalanis kind of wants this. You'll probably be using auto 100% on basic builds. 100% you have to use auto. Not only do you get the 40% damage, but you also get more max fury apparently. This is... I don't like it's gonna be a buff, but I don't like that they're doing it. This is just gonna feel weird to play with. Whatever. Aspect of Anger Management, well above 50% fury, deal 10 to 30% increased damage against berserking, but okay, this is a big buff. This will actually make this aspect very good. It will solve all your berserking needs. And it's also a very decent damage buff. Okay. Shingar's Mail, the shorter cooldown for the last round skill before re-enabling all of them, now scales based on the attack speed. Okay, I think what this means is that, for example, if you're using Leap and you scale the attack speed with Leap, you would just not, like, you use the Leap and then you have to wait for the 1 second. Now it should scale with attack speed, so it should just be 0.33 seconds, which means you'll be able to leap right again. So that's interesting. Fields of Crimson, Blood Pool bonus no longer only applies to the casting player. Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, support Barbie's back, boys. Support Barbie's back on the menu. I don't know if anyone was asking for it. But hey, support Barbie's back on the menu. And what do I see here? Our legendary notes are actually being buffed? What is this? Is this Christmas? What? Our legendary notes are actually getting a buff. Okay, someone at Blizzard was feeling generous. Okay, basically they all got buffed by what? 33% more or less. This is 33%. This is 33%. This is 50%. This is 25%. But this is both of them, I'm assuming. So 25 and 25. Which is a bit more actually. Flawless Technique legendary node also buffed by 50%. Weapon Master legendary node 50% again. And Undaunted Glyph Max damage reduction 45 increase from 10 to 15. Cool. Tempering. Affixes remove damage while Warcry is active. Fair enough. Doesn't really matter anymore. Arsenal Finesse no longer available. Sure, we didn't really use it. Makes sense, just remove things. Okay, so you only have the... I mean, you basically removed everything. You only have the one now. You only have resource generation, no matter what weapon you're using, which is actually a smaller value. Okay. Let's see what did okay, they got their ult buffed. I don't seem to have gotten as many buffs to their things. Okay. Barb's got the biggest buffs, at least to skills. Makes sense because we were the weakest. Again, I'm a Barb player. I don't know whatever is going on here. It is what it is. I'll wait for other people to talk about it. I want to see if there's kind of anything here. Masterworking, maximum quality is now 25, so that's a buff for defenses and for offensive, right? A bit more attack damage. Quality increases for masterwork is now 2 to 5, up from 1 to 3. Okay, so it's less tedious. Good. Quality upgrades now increase all affixes values by 1% per quality. Oh, this is a big. It's going up to 25 as well. And remember, you can now get, where is it? You can now get quality ranks. Getting quality ranks might be really busted on some stuff. This is gonna be interesting. Our power is gonna go up a lot. Just even without the rest of the buffs, our power is going up a lot. Way more than we had on PTR. I would say like potentially between 10 to 20 bits. It's a bit, you know, off the top of my head, so don't quite quote me on that. But that seems kinda big. Okay. Fully masterworking an item now gives 60% to a random. Okay, so we still have the masterwork. Okay, so we're getting a lot of our stats back. This will help a lot with cooldown, breakpoints and stuff like that, right? Masterwork costs have been adjusted, whatever. Okay, I'm glad they brought this back a bit. Actually, no, this is just the GA, right? Yeah, this is just the GA. Okay, no, this is what we had. They're just doing it a different way. So you can double up on, like, if you already have a GA on an item, you can double up on it if you want, which is good. But it's basically the same we had before, with the exception that you can now put it on affixes that are already GA'd. I love that change. Tempering. There is now a chance of tempering affixes gets applied as a greater affix. So you're just going to be rolling until you get the greater affix because you can roll it forever. Okay. Resources gain tempering have been added for helmets and rings. Interesting. Resources per second tempering have added to pants. Adjusted tempering recipes to remove affixes from class-specific menus that were extraneous due to existing in generic manuals or unused. I don't know what that means. Natural motion, movement speed, change from... Okay. Okay. This actually gives you a good amount of life. A bit above to the thorns. I don't know exactly what this means, but whatever. Toughness. When comparing items, the armor resistance difference between items will now display a percent of toughness instead of just displaying the flat armor. Now displaying the character stats windows. Toughness tooltip now breaks down damage resistance per damage type. I think it already did. Tournament difficulty is now displaying recommended toughness amount when selecting difficulty. Alright. Fortify and barrier generation are now part of the general defensive pool of affixes that can appear on items. Okay. Monsters in open world no longer scale 1 to 1 with your level. It's now offset so the player scales better than the monsters. That's good. Monsters' damage has been reduced at low levels. Monster power has been tuned down slightly in early tournament levels. Base health for monsters has been increased, so they don't hurt you as much, but they last longer. That's good. The chance for items with multiple grades has been increased in tournament tiers. Okay. More items now drop from levels 1 to 15. When it comes to dungeons, the closest affiliated difficulty is now displayed. Cooldown reduction can now naturally appear on rings, gloves, and shields. This is big. Especially the rings and the shields for the necros, right? I don't know if you'll ever use it on gloves, but on the rings it's big. Gloves potentially. Now that you have 4 things on the gloves, you want what? Your main stat, strength, attack speed, maybe skill ranks, that would be 4. But if you really need the cooldown, you'd probably drop one of the 4, potentially your main stat if need be. So that's cool. Various tuning to capstone dungeons, cool. Various monster spelling adjustment, various other. Okay. This season is looking up. Not gonna lie, this season is looking a lot up. Up a lot. Whatever. Where maggots spawn hell tides. Okay, it's just bug fixes to the XP. Capstone could drop. Okay, bug fixes. Let me see the level dungeon. Take the player out. Okay, it's just a bunch of bug fixes that will not really impact our power. I'm just quickly reading through them to see if I see anything. Okay, good. That's good to fix. I don't think there's any fix an issue or progression to it was not actually working in the PTR. It could not do escalation dungeons. I'm assuming that's also fixing it. Skills and equipment general. Fix an issue where the cost for enhancing an item doesn't matter. So damage per second values inconsistent plate. Everyone will reset cooldown on swapping weapons. Where attack speed could appear as an affix on 200. Okay, so this was not intended. Huh. We're relying a lot on this attack speed to get some breakpoints. Granted, now we'll get more stats on the rings and stuff like that. So maybe it's not as bad, but, you know. Okay. I thought you could naturally... Huh. I'm fairly certain you could naturally drop one with attack speeds. Once it's not being properly granted. Yeah, some items didn't even show the resists. So yeah. Where once just could fail to be consumed, that's fine. Okay. Barbarian, fix an issue where strategic rallying cry did not show the accurate amount of life gained. Wait, what? Right. You don't gain life though. I had to double check to make sure. You don't gain life, you gain fortify. I'm fairly certain this is a typo. This is probably just fortify here. Fix an issue where Ugly Bastard did not have the appropriate amount of fire resistance. Cool. Fix an issue where Brash Node no longer granted resistance as a bonus. Okay, this is a Paragon thing. Fix an issue where Yule Rune was not triggered by Ground Stump if Mail was equipped. Cool. Fix an issue where Onlanus Opens was active even when the active skill wasn't using the weapon. Okay, so we're back to the old Ramaladness. Okay. This was not fixing an issue, this was reverting a thing they did. His amount where the Fury cost for Kick was incorrect. So Kick might be a thing next season, we'll have to see. This will change a good amount of builds. Basics, for example, you'll have to go back to Rama, to using Rama as your main weapon. Interesting. Okay. This is just Vessel of Hatred. Base game. Okay, this is just new items. Let's just go fast here. Okay, I think we saw the changes up top, right? Yeah, we saw the changes up top. So yeah, that's gonna be it. Let me actually put the thing here. Okay. Let me just go quickly down here to make sure we're not missing anything. Okay, this is just monster stuff. Waller. What? Why? Why not? Dude, why? Just remove this. Good. Okay, yeah, this needed to be buffed. Like, this thing was giving you 50% armor. That was a joke. They nerfed the max life, fair enough. Now instead of being flat is its percent. Cool, cool. Cards that skip other campaign unlock all Stronghold 1 points for their respective region. Awesome. Okay, this is very cool. Finally, I don't know why it's taking this long, but temper now have greater variance now that you aren't limited to how many you can retemper. Why? Like, you're just gonna be, it's just gonna be a chore. You're just gonna be sitting there re-rolling. Whatever. You're just gonna be re-rolling for the GA. Now that you can get one GA, you're just gonna be rolling for that. Bodies from fixes have been broadly adjusted to account for an introduction. Removed from, okay, yeah, this is dimension. And it's change here. Just a bunch of bug fixes. No FK XP now. Yeah, alright, yeah, that's gonna be it. Honestly, I don't know about, I think Barb got the most stuff. Not only that, again, Barb was really hurt because we lost a lot of stats. We're getting some of those stats back now that each rank of Masterwork actually, is it Masterwork? Whatever the word is. Now that each rank actually increases the amount of stats you get. What's the name? The quality, yeah. Each quality rank gives you like 1% of all the stats. That's gonna increase the stats you have, so that's gonna be great for Barb. Basically, all or Paragon got buffed, or Legendary Paragon nodes, almost basically all of them, right? Only one that didn't was the... no, that one got buffed as well. I think all of them got buffed, right? I think so, for the most part. Yeah. Okay, very good. We got some bug fixes. I don't know. This one, it's not too big, but it's gonna be really good. Because some builds you kind of wanted to use this. For example, for Whirlwind, you really have a hard time keeping Berserk up time, especially if things just die. This is gonna make it so much easier, because you really want to use this anyway, and now you get 30% extra damage. So that's gonna be really nice for Whirlwind Earthquakes, which is what we're gonna be playing, because they clearly didn't change anything else. I hope this makes Leap much better to play. We'll have to see about the Power Kick. Again, Kick now has double the hitbox. Probably more. It's probably like 4 times the hitbox. Because kind of like how like area kind of works. It's like 3 to 4 times, I believe. And no longer has Fury Cap. So we'll see. We'll also get more points per strength. I think we're the only class that got that, right? Yeah, I don't think any other class got that. Let me see. Necro. Nope. Rogue. Oh, Rogue got the buff as well. I guess because they also have more weapons. Theirs was bigger, actually, than ours. What about the other class? Sorks didn't get anything. And Spiritborn also didn't get anything. So us and Rogues got the buff to the to our main stat, which is very nice. Has this started yet? Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. Alright. So, we're looking... Bard's gonna clear 100. Fairly certain. We'll have to see. The lunging build is gonna have to change a bit. We're making lunging build for... We're making lunging build for 200 mace, right? It's no longer gonna be 200 mace. We'll see. And it's gonna be for Rama. Now we need to use Rama, right? Everything else got a buff, got a bit stronger. Even if it's just like it's at the very least the strength and the Paragon nodes and more stats, right? So everything else got a bit stronger. We'll have to see how that ends up working out. Yeah, very good patch notes for us. Let me actually check here with the Maxwell boys. Not that many. Alright, now what do we do until we actually get the stream? I was honestly watching a series waiting for the thing to come, but then they just released the patch notes. I'm like, I want to dive into this now. But we don't have a lot more to dive into. I mean, where's the... You know what? Actually, we can go over the... Let me pull this back up. Are already at the build prepped for... I don't know if anything changes here. I guess we have to run... How was I getting berserking here? I can't remember. Was it just lunging? Yeah, it was just lunging. If you don't want to play with lunging, you would have to potentially drop Fists of Fate, I guess. You probably kind of want to drop it anyway. Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. Because strength is a bit better now. We'll have to see. We can't run oh, I was running Rama on this. We can't run Rama on this anymore. A bit unfortunate. Actually, I'll have to consider if I want to run Rama, but I'm assuming not. So we'll have to remake the Maximum Fury thing here. You just run another chance for quicks to deal damage to cast twice or something. And actually, no, you just run Belligerence. It is what it is, right? I think that's gonna be it. And for pushing, of course, it's gonna be Whirlwind Otta, fairly certain. This thing, where is it? This got buffed last season. For a long time, started looking a bit backlog as wanted to see notes walkthrough. I'm gonna post the I'm gonna cut it up and post it on the channel after the stream is over. Barb got a lot of good buff. We gotta be clear on one, like everyone got buffs generally speaking. I don't know if Barb got the best of them, but everyone is like, we're gonna get a lot more stats next season than we were expecting, because quality is now gonna give you 1% increased stats. So that you can have up to 25 quality, and of course Barbs benefit a lot more from having stats because we have extra weapons for more offensive stats. And basically all our Paragon nodes got buffed by 33 to 50%, which is insane. That's a lot of extra damage. Like doing it simply, let me see. Why is this not showing up? Properties. Why can't I? So really have, oh, there we go. It was not showing. So we are going from what? Let's say 1.45. This is a bit generous, but let's say we have 4 145s. That's a 4.4 multiplier, right? A 4.4 times multiplier. And now they're going up to 60. So that would be, so 1.6 divided to 4. So that's kind of, what, 50% more damage overall? Not 50% more damage, but you get what I mean. That's a good amount of extra damage. Just from taking things we're already taking anyway. Between that and the increased stats, we're gonna be doing a lot better. I don't think we had enough there to say that Barb is gonna be meta. It will depend on the power kick and the leap stuff, because a lot of that was kind of, you just kind of have to guess what they meant by that. So we'll just have to see how it works when it actually goes live, but it doesn't really change anything in the builds, except that here I will not be running Ravenladnis anymore. I'll just have to swap it for likely something like this. Would I run? Nah, there's no way I would run. What's its name again? There's no way I would run Sabre here, right? I can't proc Warpath for the life of me. Like, it's really not worth to proc Warpath on this build. So, likely not. I'd just rather get the stats, and this way we can get the new Berserking. So we can just go for strength, life, crit damage. What's that going for? A few rank kill makes sense. We can go for life on hit. We can go for more damage. Probably for the farming, you just go with more damage. Life on hit. Back to the Whirlwind? Nope. Nope. I mean, if you're playing pure Whirlwind, yeah, but for the Earthquakes, we just run. I believe I was running Polearm on this. I can't remember. I'm fairly certain the Executioner we were running Polearm on this. Back to the Polearm Earthquake. It's gonna be Earthquake next season. Pure Whirlwind was doing was not being able to do 75, and Earthquake was able to do 85. So Earthquakes is like 10 to 15%, 15 pits ahead of Pure Whirlwind, so it is what it is. I was hoping for some buffs to Dust Devils. I really wanted to play like an actual Whirlwind Dust Devils this season, but it's gonna be Earthquakes again. It is what it is. I don't dislike it, but you know, I've just played it so much that I kinda wanted to play. Because last season we didn't actually play Whirlwind Dust Devils. It was more like a Shout Dust Devils, right? So at the end of the day, it was kind of the same, but it like if you actually play with the aspect of the Whirlwind doing the Dust Devils, it actually plays a bit differently. But you know, whatever. So we take, I think, either that or Earthquakes cast twice. I don't know. Probably Belligerence if I have to guess. Then we just throw the increased rank. The quality is gonna go up to 25 as well. Feels old now. Yeah, but it is what it is. I was not gonna make a variant for Pure Whirlwind because it was way too weak. Now it might be decent enough. I'm not gonna lie. We were basically archiving half of the Barbarian builds. I'm not even kidding you. We are gonna archive half of the Barbarian builds. From what we saw from the PTR, half of them are on their way to be archived. We might not be archiving as much, potentially. So, you know, that's some good news. We're not archiving so many of them. And this would be Berserk, because this got buffed, and now it's much better. With Fury on Kill, it should be easy. Again, the Fury on Kill could be damage, but I'm just taking the Fury on Kill because it will just feel so much better to play, so whatever. Also, one thing, builds are gonna be Omega strong, because now you can actually, where is it? You can now actually get legendary powers. You couldn't get most of them on the PTR, now you can. 3 per second is still a stat on boots, right? Yeah, I believe so. There's nothing about it. And you can now get Fury per second on other stuff, I believe. Alta is gonna be crazy. Alta is gonna be crazy next season. Alta might actually overtake lunging, potentially. This is kinda crazy. I don't exactly know what this means, but if this just means you get 100% free max Fury. Actually, no. No. Because you can no longer use Ramaladnis with Alta. Forget that. Alta is garbage now. It's Lunging City. It's gonna be Lunging City again. Or maybe Bosch. Likely Lunging. That's unfortunate. Well, it's Lunging City all over again. But you'll still like. This is crazy. I'm assuming this is part of this, so you get like 10% increased max fury per stack. This is what I'm assuming here, right? That's exactly what I think it's happening, Subash. That's still crazy, right? You'll have to run auto on every single basic build. You'll just have to find a way to make the overpower work. The thing is, you want, at least on Bosch and lunging, you likely want to use Rama anyway. So you can't proc auto force it with a Bash, for example. You'll just have to use Zan or something like that and get the auto in. Like, at the very least to keep the stacks up, but hopefully to proc the overpower. What the? Wait, why is my... I just realized, why is the... Yo, not this one. I need to open my... What is... Why are the ads 30 seconds and just happening constantly? What happened? I didn't change anything. Wait, what? When did this change? What? Okay, I did. Okay, whatever. Okay, they should only show up every 1 hour now. Also, probably a support skill from a build if... Yeah, I mean, the thing is, Auto was really good because it was scaling with, you could scale Max Fury and then you could just take advantage of Ramaladness. Now you can't, right? Because Ramaladness fixed an issue, quote unquote. It was intentional what they did. But basically, it's gone back to what it was, which, by the way, I think it's good because Ramaladness was the only thing actually keeping dual wield builds. Like, is if it could use Ramaladness. So, like, I don't feel like this was the wrong change to do. Like, Rama being tied to dual wield, I think it's good. Everything else just needs the buff. But yeah, Alta got the big buff, but it fell off a lot because it lost Ramaladness. So it's most likely gonna be lunging, bash just behind it, and then earthquakes, if I had to guess. Of course, Mighty Troy is gonna be somewhere there in the middle, I'm sure. But it's likely gonna be lunging, gonna be basics into earthquakes. I don't... Again, depending on what this means for Leap... Okay. Depending on what this means for Leap, adjusted the attack speed scaling. And now you get one extra... You potentially get one extra aspect on the Leap as well. Because they fixed the item. Now, before you had 1 second cooldown, so even if you scaled the attack speed on Leap, you still have to run the aspect to reduce the cooldown. Because once, if you had 200% attack speed, you're doing like 3 or 4 leaps per second, and that 1 minute, 1 second was just blocking you constantly. Now, since this scales with attack speed, hopefully you shouldn't need the aspect. Which is amazing. I don't know why it even has a short cooldown. It's just, I guess it's so it can work as like with runes like Yule and stuff like that. So it has the cooldown, even though it's basically none. But yeah, this is gonna be big as well. We're gonna have support barbs. Well, let me take the... We're gonna have support barb as well. I have like... When this first came out, I was under the impression that it also applied to other people, but then I figured out it didn't. It's good that this applies, because by the text on the item, you would think, right? The enemy standing in the pool take increased damage. It doesn't say increased damage from you, so you would think this should already work that way, but it didn't. Now it does, so support barb is much better now. Which is very nice. Yeah, but we'll see there. I don't think we have a support barb build planned. We might... I don't think we'll make a full guide for it, but we might have a small guide for it, maybe. We'll see. But fairly certain it's going to be lunging first. Honestly, earthquakes might surpass lunging now, because lunging has to go back to using dual wield, so they lost a bit. But they gained from the auto, right? So it might be Earthquake sub-up lunging. We will see. Likely it's gonna... Low-key, Leapquake might be our best build. Low-key, Leapquake might be our best build. We will have to see, but maybe. Granted, Leapquake was also taking advantage of Rama a little bit. Not a lot. So, and if Leap wants, they can play with Rama, right? Leap can easily play with Rama. He'll also attack faster, so you create more earthquakes. So potentially playing with Rama is actually what you want to do. I'll let Snail cook on that one, because, I don't know, maybe I'll play it. I had never actually played a season that I actually just played Leap. So we might play that a bit. We'll see. Oh, this is about to start. Alright, let's go full screen. There we go. Ooh, 1 minute 24. Man, we're likely looking at the meta of basics and earthquakes from the looks of it. Basics and EQs. Meta it seems. Let me actually see if the YouTube has sound on this. You'll have to run on every single build. Okay, this is... I'm way behind. Let me actually see if the YouTube has sound on this. It's a bit hard to tell. You'll have to run on every single build. Because like I'm hearing my... I'm hearing the loop on myself, right? But I don't know if the music is. Actually, let me stop the music I have anyway. It's a bit hard to test. Okay, it's starting anyway. Oh. YouTube does not have this audio. Oh, give me a second.
On Diablo 4. And a PSA for everyone at home.
Okay.
We have cut the AC in here, and there's a lot of us, so it is going to get
YouTube should have the audio now, hopefully.
Regretting our holiday sweater choices pretty soon. But yeah, for all you watching at home, we do have a Twitch drop for this stream. Be sure to
Twitch
link your account and watch any eligible channel, and you'll get the unhilted striker one-handed sword cosmetic. So you'll have for 30 minutes.
YouTube has the
Be
sound.
live by now, so yeah, check it out in any eligible channel.
So nice.
We've got a ton to cover for this stream for Season of Divine Intervention. We had the PTR back in October, which feels like ages ago, but we got a ton of feedback. Thank you all for jumping in. Right now, we're just about to wrap up Season of Infernal Chaos. If you haven't gotten Pandora from the season journey, be sure to complete the objectives. Throughout the stream, we're going to get into PTR learnings. We're going to look at the changes coming with masterworking and itemization. And
they had to put 3 extra people for Adam.
So get your questions ready. We will have members of the community team grabbing those throughout the stream, and then right at the end, we will jump into Q&A. But before we do that, we do have an excellent asset prep for you guys we can check out that goes through everything coming with Season of Divine Intervention. So we'll take a look.
Ooh.
Welcome, everyone, to our Season of Divine Intervention Developer Update. I'm Art Peshkov, and today I'm excited to share some updates coming to Diablo 4.
Look at him.
Let's dive right in, starting with itemization.
No, we can't spawn
Tempering and
ourselves.
Masterworking are getting a big overhaul. We've refocused these systems on what matters most, customization and prestige. From now on, there will be no more random rolls. You will now be able to select the specific temper you want. While these tempered affixes have various ranges on them, there is now a chance for the applied affix to be a greater affix. While items can now only have one tempered affix, as opposed to two, we're increasing the number of base affixes found on non-unique items from 3 to 4. Lastly, tempering charges can be restored indefinitely. Masterworking now improves the overall quality of your item, giving a direct bonus to its affixes as well as base damage, armor, or resistance. You can masterwork your items up to a maximum quality threshold of 25. And here's the best part. Once you hit that max quality, you get one final roll for a capstone bonus. This capstone bonus masterworks an affix, which boosts its value by 50%. This boost stacks with the greater affix bonus and the effects of quality. You'll be able to re-roll that masterworked affix without losing your hard-earned masterworking quality. These changes are designed to give you more control, more excitement, and more opportunities to build your perfect character. In an effort to better equalize effective health across classes and builds, we're making several changes to the way effective health interacts with damage reduction and how those individual stats are calculated. Our goal is to streamline player defenses while properly testing them as you climb through difficulty tiers, putting more emphasis on gearing your builds towards survivability. Potions are now more impactful and tactical than ever. First up, your base potion capacity is now set to 4, no matter your previous renown progress. Everyone starts with 4 potions. And here's the real game changer. Potion healing is now instant and percentage based. Whenever you use a potion, you'll heal for 35% of your total health immediately. But that's not all. In addition to the potions you pick up, you'll slowly regenerate a potion every 30 seconds. So even in the heat of battle, you'll have a steady supply coming your way. To balance things out, we're bringing back life on hit as a potential affix. We've also boosted the values for life regeneration, life on kill, and healing percent. These stats are now easier to find and more powerful than before. And finally, healing potion upgrades are gone. Since potions now heal a portion of your overall health, upgrades just aren't needed. These changes are designed to make every potion use count, giving you more ways to stay alive and thrive in Sanctuary. To work in tandem with the updates to healing and potions, Fortify is shifting from a type of damage reduction to something much more dynamic.
It's a shield
An additional reservoir of life that's drained to heal you over time. Here's how it works. Whenever you gain Fortify, it will now stack up to your maximum life. And when you're below your maximum life, you'll heal for a percentage of your maximum life per second, in exchange for an equal amount of Fortify. This redesign is all about giving you more ways to survive the tough battles and strategize
you don't get more EHP, you can still get one shot. Like you only have 10k HP, you don't have 20k.
Smarter elites as you fight your way through Sanctuary. Monsters will now react and adapt to combat, driven by their expressed desire to end your life. Each monster has its own clear role and identity when fighting, so you'll notice their behavior is no longer predictable.
Dude, Iron Maelstrom,
They'll
let's
be more
go!
dynamic in how they respond
Iron
to you
Maelstrom
in battle.
representation!
Expect your defenses to be tested. These intelligent packs will deal damage more regularly, and you'll need to stay sharp. Monster affixes are now more powerful, making them a priority to deal with before moving on to other enemies. Monster packs will also group up less, making them harder to take out in one fell swoop. Their tactics have improved, and so yours should too. And for those seeking a challenge, champion enemy rarity has been reworked to form champion packs. Get ready to face a whole new level of challenge in Sanctuary. First up, we've added over 20 new monster affixes for you to learn and conquer. That means every elite encounter will feel fresh and challenging.
Maelstrom, let's go!
But that's not all. Elites now spawn with minions that inherit some of their affixes, making each battle even more dynamic and unpredictable.
They really want people
We've
to play
also
with
taken
it.
a close look at enemy affixes
Look at
overall,
them, they're still using
making
it.
them more engaging, reducing overlap in their design, and improving visual clarity so you can better strategize in the heat of combat. In the seasonal realm, hellish activities are now under siege by the baleful lesser evils, each bringing their own brand of malice. Duriel dominates Helltide. Belial rules the Pit. And Dariel commands the Kurast Undercity. Meanwhile, Azmodan stalks across Sanctuary, appearing as the first new world boss in multiple locations. But that's not all. Just south of Zarbinzet, you'll find 3 summoning altars where Azmodan can be called forth at will. Each altar invokes Azmodan with powers borrowed from one of the other 3 lesser evils. And as you battle these enemies, defeating them with their respective purified or corrupted gifts will grant you divine favor. This divine favor levels up your divine gifts and helps you progress through the seasonal reputation board. This season, the angel Hadriel has returned to Sanctuary, bringing rare boons to aid you in the fight against the newly returned lesser evils. Hadriel shares a fraction of the power of the high heavens, and these blessings manifest as divine gifts, offering you both great rewards and exciting opportunities. Each divine gift has 3 components: a reward, a corrupted gift, and a purified gift. Within your inventory's divine gifts panel, you can slot these gifts in 2 ways. Place them in the interior slot to activate the purified gift. Place them in the exterior slot to activate the corrupted gift. When slotted, your divine gift will trigger its reward bonus, increasing the benefits for that specific gift.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't test the rewards
make related
on PTR.
activities more challenging, but still grant the reward bonus.
Hopefully they are good.
Purified gifts, on the other hand, remove the negative effect, add a positive effect, and double the reward gained. Corrupted gift slots are unlocked automatically. To unlock purified gift slots, progress through the seasonal reputation board.
I didn't quite, I used them, but I didn't quite test
is your chance to channel the power of the
get
angels and infuse it directly into your items. When you sanctify an item, here's what can happen. Your item gains bonus quality. Replace an existing affix with a random sanctified
Show me if
affix.
it can get an actual offensive aspect.
Into a powerful greater affix.
It was about to click on the ring and then they cut.
From a special pool of sanctified affixes. Gain a bonus legendary power. Once you sanctify an item, it becomes unmodifiable. That's the final step in your item's journey, so
but
make it
they
count.
did add quality, I think, right? I wanted to see what aspects
We're
you could
introducing
actually get.
Season Rank as an update to our previous player progression system, Season Journey. This update introduces a change to how players progress through seasons, with a slew of new challenges ahead. Let's talk first about tiers.
Oh, sorry.
Each tier now requires you to complete a challenge, usually a capstone dungeon, before you can move up to the next rank. If you're up for it, you don't have to wait for the recommended level or difficulty. This means you can now enter Torment before max level, if you can beat max level challenges
They're actually interesting, by the way.
So, if you're feeling brave, you can take on these capstone dungeons early and push your limits. Some of the notable rewards, alongside skill points and Paragon points, will be gaining access to Pit and Tower after beating Capstone 2.
I'm not gonna lie, you probably just want to do the campaign
to laurels at rank 3.
level and then go to all of them
Receiving
in
the
sequence.
seasonal pet after Capstone 5.
Let's go.
Access to Gilded Laurels at rank 7.
But yeah, you're just gonna level on campaign, I think. Especially since the real thing got
Let's talk about
nerfed.
Capstone Dungeons, because they're back and ready to test your progress as you climb through the difficulty tiers.
I didn't play this one much.
These dungeons are designed to challenge
lie.
you at every step of your journey. And here's something important to remember. Even though each Capstone dungeon lists a suggested level, their difficulty doesn't scale with your current level. So plan your approach carefully. Here's a look into the journey ahead.
I didn't do all of them. I don't think I did those last 2. I just did
Within
the ones
seasonal realm,
up to
you can earn additional
Torment 1.
benefits tied to your player progress through the new Season Rank system. Completing various challenges within each rank will unlock specific benefits. And when you finish an entire rank, you'll earn powerful bonuses. Season rank rewards additional skill points at ranks 1 through 3.
I think this was very good for leading new players through what activities they need to do at each level.
Your renown will
I think it was very good for that.
in the Eternal Realm. And
for
don't
people
forget,
that already know the game, it's
potion
kind of
capacity
whatever.
changes also affect the Eternal Realm. And for those exploring Sanctuary, Altars of Lilith and Tenets of Akarat will continue to grant some experience and minor rewards, but not permanent stats or power.
I don't know if anyone tested how much XP they actually give. Imagine if it was actually better to just level by getting the
sorceress from the season
things.
of Infernal Chaos, Mana Shield, has inspired a redesign to the mythic unique Melted Heart of Selig. Now, all classes will be able to access a massively increased resource pool that also functions as your life total. Sorceress's new unique weapon, or
It's garbage, by the way.
grants you great power, but only if you build your character like a glass cannon and avoid using defensive skills. For each defensive skill you are not using, you gain increased damage and access to its associated enchantment effect.
Wait, is that
better
like
than one golem?
240
How about
damage?
3 slightly smaller golems instead? Necromancer's new unique mace, Gravebloom, grows your golem army. And should one golem fall, it comes back even faster. Whether using Gravebloom or not, casting your golem's active skill will now command your other minions to focus their attacks on your new target.
That's very good. God bless for them.
This season, rogues are doing a dance of death, or rather, a dance of knives with Death's Pavane. These unique pants cause your dance of
Very
knives
happy
to
for
drop
them.
knives from enemies hit,
Lizzie Necker.
and picking them up.
No, it's
further
actually a more
empowers
active
your
play
dance of
style.
knives.
What do you mean? They can actually target
Additionally, Shadow Clone's targeting
want.
logic has been updated, and will now target the same enemy that you initially targeted with your skill.
Quality
This
of life
dramatically
again,
improves
very good.
Shadow Clone's consistency when using skills that require precise
this was
aiming,
a couple
like
of
penetrating
things
shot and rapid fire.
you add on. They're improving on that you can actually choose your target for your
Druid's
random
new
stuff.
unique boots, Kamsin Stepwalkers, is one of the most potent mobility items in the game. Build up charge with your nature magic skills, and at max stacks, you gain the maximum possible movement speed and unhindered, and you immobilize enemies you pass through. With the rework to the Bad Omen passive, you will also be constantly zapping all the enemies along
I'm
the
not
way.
gonna lie, this feels really underwhelming, especially with the one Barb's got. It feels so mega
Barbarians
underwhelming.
love a good brawl, but Chain Scourged Mail changes everything you know about brawling. Casting a brawling skill will disable it afterwards.
By
and
the way,
once
you
you've
likely
cast
would
every
never
brawling
use
skill
all
on
of
your
them
bar,
together, just
they are
use
all
one of them.
re-enabled with their cooldowns refreshed. The more skills you chain together in your brawling combo, the bigger the damage boost. Spiritborn are always on the move, and with Path of the Emissary, the more you move, the more you attack. These unique boosts
This is
constantly
interesting.
unleash core skills from your primary Spirit Hall as you
This
traverse
is
the battlefield.
very interesting. I don't know if it's
Want
gonna
to
be
do
good,
even
but
more
it's
damage while
interesting.
moving? Rushing Claw has received a massive buff as well. Combine these to absolutely shred the monsters of Sanctuary.
A new challenge is
Let's see if
coming
they
to
use some of the
Sanctuary.
feedback they got
One
about
designed to
this.
test the mettle of the most battle-hardened warriors. Introducing the Tower. This is a multi-stage, timed dungeon built for the elite. While the pit pushes you to your limits in the depths, the Tower rises to match you against others who think themselves worthy. We're launching the Tower as a brand new game mode, and this is just the
Yo,
beginning.
Whirlwind!
We plan to update the tower through multiple seasons, and your
Look at him
feedback
go.
will help shape its future. The tower was built with our new monster combat changes in mind. You'll need to master the latest enemy tactics to gain the upper hand and climb to the top.
He's using a
You'll
people as
unlock
well.
the tower through the obelisk
The
in
copium.
Karagar. Here's how it works. Fight through multiple floors, each with randomized layouts and monster families. Progress by defeating monsters and collecting orbs. The tougher the monster, the higher their value. During your run, pylons appear as you make progress. You're guaranteed to see 4 pylons in every tower run. The first 3 will appear in a random order, but you'll always get each option at least once. The fourth pylon will be a random repeat of one of the previous 3. Orbs drop from elites, champions, and goblins, so keep an eye out for those high-value targets. With the arrival of the tower, leaderboards are making their triumphant return to Diablo 4. This is where the best of the best will compete for the top spot.
Oh, they fixed the order.
After your tower
Good.
run, you'll see the tower tier you
And the
completed.
PTR is going the other way around.
There will be separate leaderboards for hardcore and normal modes, so everyone has a chance to shine. We have big plans for leaderboards. For now, we're focused on introducing the core functionality, collecting feedback, and planning ahead for future updates.
Leaderboards needed a
Tower
lot of
leaderboards
love,
will
I'm
be
not gonna
enabled
lie.
later in the season, so stay tuned for updates through our upcoming blogs and notes. These are just a few of the exciting updates coming in the season of Divine Intervention. See you all in Sanctuary.
Like the leaderboards needed, for example, it doesn't snapshot the what you're using. So if I clear something, I can then change the build I have equipped, and you'll not be able to see what build I used to clear it.
Okay, that was a lot. That was a lot. There's a ton coming.
You'll see me with a 120 clear, and then I just have whirlwind
patch
equipped, and I
notes for the
think I
upcoming
cleared it
season
with
and the blog
whirlwind.
are now live.
Even though I did it with lunging
so
or
for anything we
something.
chat about across the stream, you can go and check those out. Following the stream, we'll have a ton of additional information in there. But if you have any other questions, also don't forget, drop those in Twitch chat because we will be collecting them throughout the stream. But yeah, we got to talk about, we had our PTR back in October. We had a ton of feedback. We're all really excited to get into it. So Owen, I mean, the lesser evils are back. Hadriel's back. Yeah. Asmodan's here. He's back with all his piercings and whatnot. So
all the piercings.
All the piercings are
Two
back.
very specific piercings. But no, yeah,
I wonder
we're
which
super
ones they're
excited.
talking
This is
about.
Divine Intervention, heaven and hell battling it out. It's really going to be great. So I want to talk a bit about sort of our PTR learnings and sort of what we've changed from PTR to what we're going to release. So there's a lot of little things that we changed, and I encourage you to read those patch notes. So I'll focus mainly on the things that people maybe want to hear the most or that they dislike the most. So going through the different lesser evil invasion activities, we'll start with the pit. So with Belial, some of you folks may have noticed that he likes to monologue, like Syndrome, if y'all, incredible reference, sorry. And he'd have to give his whole death speech before you actually won the pit run. We fixed that. You kill Belial, you'll win the pit run immediately. We did some improvements on the
Shut up, I'm one of them. I'm Lilith, clearly, what do you mean?
Specifically, especially on controller. So now if you just walk up to one of those eyeballs, it'll pop.
They'll never know.
Pixel hunt for that thing. We also got feedback on the Belial ambush things. He'll pop up and do an attack, and he'll taunt you and say some stuff. But that did a knockback and was happening fairly often. We got some pretty strong feedback that maybe that was annoying. So we got rid of the feedback. We had him pop up less. But the pit is fresh. It's awesome. We really encourage you to check it out. We also did a ton of updates to the Undercity, but again, just to focus on the high-level ones of some specific pain points. We reduced the time-stealing effects in the Undercity a lot. Indara would show up, and she would steal a lot of different time. Time with her different attacks. We reduced that a lot. Her Nightmare Dungeon affixes that we sort of imposed upon the Undercity, we reduced those as well, just to make it a little more engaging and less punishing for. We don't want to make it 10 times more difficult. But
you could actually take your time, even when the time was already locked, by the way.
For the Undercity
so even if you got to the thing with like 3 seconds left, you could still lose.
Undercity tributes, so those will show up, and you can use those. I totally encourage you to check it out. And then there's this stupid quirk with the Andariel boss fight that we fixed in PTR where like she would be stuck in a phase transition until she played her whole animation. So we fixed that. If you bring her down past the life threshold, you can just nuke her. You're not going to have to sit there and watch her.
She's dramatic.
Yeah, I was going to say, she's very dramatic. Yeah, the anguish for our player, right? We updated Helltide. Everybody loved that screen vignette effect. No, I'm just kidding. We took the screen vignette effect off. That was causing some motion sickness stuff. So if that was bothering you, that's gone now. You may have also noticed that the XP globes that maggots were dropping were a little overtuned in the fact that you gained 40 levels in 2 minutes. So obviously we reduced that to make it more in line with the intended pace of the game.
What about the XP from the bosses? Bosses were giving a lot of XP.
Enemies, so it'll feel even fresher than it was in PTR.
Oh, not talking about it.
And lastly, we gave Duriel some more attacks. So if you don't pay attention, he will eat you and he will kill you. So
you already did.
Nice.
Maybe not on the
event,
on the Helltide. But in the actual fight, he could just eat you if he didn't have Unstoppable.
Together in a Diablo game, like super exciting. And we didn't change too much about that. The only thing we changed was in the How Is Our Overland event. Well, first and foremost, you're not going to gain 40 levels anymore from killing a world boss. Obviously, it was missed a 0 or something at some point, but all world bosses will reward appropriate level of EXP. So
they talked about it, damn.
Sorry for your speed living strats.
God damn. Yeah, I thought I was just farm a couple of bosses.
To that How Was Our event to prevent just one tapping when he would show up.
Oh yeah, we're gonna have the Christmas event potentially, right?
As you do with every other
like really, like 1 or 2 weeks after the season starts.
So if you're not familiar with the How Was Our event, you could interact with shrines from Andariel or Duriel and Belial, and that would affect the Azmodan boss fight. We updated those to be a lot clearer and a lot more obvious as to like what is happening from those and a lot more deadly. So it will matter which one you pick. So really excited to see sort of how you react to the new added twists on the Azmodan world boss. So the other part I want to talk about is Evolved Monster Combat. So we were just sort of blown away by the reception of Evolved Monster Combat. Folks really enjoyed the added challenge, the 20+ new affixes that we added. But again, there were some pain points, so we wanted to focus on 2 specific areas for improvement, and that is the spikiness as well as the visual clarity. So
they didn't talk about the Soul Drinker one.
Spikiness,
that was an interesting one.
The damage. We looked across the board at all the different new affixes and identified any outliers that were dealing just too much damage or weren't obvious enough in terms of where they're going to hit, things like that, and just standardize that damage so you don't run into a tower run and you're like, well, that guy's got Crackling Soul, F this, I'm out, right? Like, no, so...
Most of them were not too bad, but there were some that, for example, Soul Drinker could make a mob basically immortal.
Maybe there was too much CC, or you didn't...
and they didn't talk about it. To be fair, it was because of Soul Drinker with other modifiers, but still.
We created some rules that bound how often it can show up or how long it will last, and created standardization across the board. We also just reduced generally how often they appear. And we also focused a lot on the lower level player experience to make sure that from the get-go you're not getting smoked by all these new combat changes. And I'm sure some of the other folks will talk a little bit more about that. And then the last part is our visual clarity. There was a lot of feedback that maybe some of the things were harder to see what was happening, or they're getting killed from things they never saw. So we did a lot. We did a visual pass on all of our affixes. We updated the visuals on elites and champions, so they had a little bit of an aura, but now they're going to have like a blue and yellow shimmer to them, so they'll stand out amongst the packs. We even removed the overhead icons to try to reduce that visual noise. So now when an elite with 5 minions show up, you're not going to have, what's 4 times whatever I just said, 6, right? Yeah, 24 different little icons across the board. You'll still see it when you hover your mouse over it, so you'll know what affixes they have, but it'll just feel clearer and crisper, and it'll feel much better. So we're really excited. We appreciate all the feedback from PTR, and we think that combat is in the best spot it's ever been since D4's launch.
I actually remember the first time I got to go in and test Evolved Monster Combat. I didn't realize we were actually like making them have like the blue icons and like blue and yellow. And I remember seeing it and I was just like, this is awesome. So I'm super excited for you guys to try it out. If you didn't try it out on PTR, it's gonna be great.
Yeah, and I think too, like with Season of Divine Intervention, there's so many times you're gonna be fighting Belial and Dariel. So like, I know there's a lot of feedback around speeding up those phases, so having those changes in so that now you can skip a few of those phases and just get those fights kind of done more quickly, especially because you're going to be running them so often. It's really nice to see. But yeah, for people, if you haven't played in a few seasons, jumping into this Evolved Monster Combat, it's going to feel really different. I know I heard a designer like a few days ago saying like, hey, we expect players to die. So keep your feedback coming because it should be challenging.
Kill them all.
But hopefully, yeah, we can strike that right balance. And speaking of players, if you haven't been around for a while, we've got some very exciting changes coming to itemization with this next season. Turns out tempering will no longer be random. You'll be able to select the temper that you want on your item. So Art, I mean, we got a lot of feedback from the PTR. We got changes to masterworking. We've got sanctification coming this season. It's a really exciting time for items.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you all for the feedback. It was really invaluable. We took some pretty big swings with the things that we tried to do in the season of Divine Intervention. And coming up like on the changes to tempering, really, we were really happy with the kind of how we reframe tempering. Now it's a deterministic way to kind of customize your item. What we noticed is that there's a lack of like excitement and emphasis. So one of the changes that we made in the PTR is that when you temper a ancestral item, you now have a chance for the tempered affix to crit and upgrade into a GA version of that affix.
It's just going to be fishing for that basically now.
Really cool. Kind of going down the line, for masterworking, we have 2 key changes that we wanted to make to the system. The first one is that quality wasn't quite doing a good enough job of kind of being the generally make your item better system. So now, in addition to increasing the base damage, armor, or resistance of your item, quality is also going to increase the affix values of your item. So generally, your numbers just go up when you quality an item. And we've also increased the threshold of quality to 25. So you'll be able to
can go up to
25%
50 with
base stat
sanctification,
on
actually,
your
which
item
is
just
insane.
by taking it through the quality phase of masterworking.
So at this point, quality more or less affects almost everything on an item.
Yeah, everything except for like the legendary power or unique power on the item.
Right.
And then the second big change that we wanted to make to masterworking is with the masterworked affix. We call it the capstone. We tried to streamline the system, but we kind of went too far, and there was a little bit too. We took out too much of the optimization and kind of like build expression from the system. So the masterwork affix, the capstone, it can once again stack with greater affixes. It's not mutually exclusive anymore. So you can like really target the specific affix that you want to boost and kind of hyper optimize that. For sanctification, thank you for we were blown away by the feedback. The thing that we noticed pretty consistently is that we just kind of under-tuned it, right? Like it's a seasonal itemization feature. The amount of power that it needs to bring it has to be pretty high, and we were just a bit too conservative with where we landed. So we made a couple of changes to sanctification. The first one is that
they're just reiterating stuff they said earlier. Thought we were going into the Q&A.
By a new outcome, and this new outcome adds bonus quality. So if this outcome happens,
that's going to be interesting, to be fair.
5 to 25 quality added.
We might actually want that on our main weapon potentially.
So there's that.
I'll have to run the numbers.
Change affix. This was one that we heard a lot of feedback on. So what we've done here is we've made it so that the change affix outcome can no longer occur on ancestral uniques or mythic unique items. So don't worry, your hypothetical Shaco with GA CDR that you are going to hit change affix on, and that can't happen anymore. So,
good.
And then lastly, we added some more stuff to the legendary pools in sanctification. First off, there were some things just missing, like there were a bunch of offensive legendaries that were just missing. And second off, I don't want to spoil it, but I added some kind of crazy shit in there, so you guys can find it. And yeah.
Okay, interesting, crazy shit. We like that.
That's it. There's a couple other changes we made to base items to kind of go along with the revised item journey. We realized that players are going to be like going through the crafting flows and sanctifying and going through a lot more items. So we wanted to make it a little bit easier for you to get multi-GA items. So what we've done is we've increased the chance for you to get 2, 3, and 4 GA
We'll see how good that is going to be, especially for the amulets.
When an ancestral item drops, right? And then lastly, on the itemization space, we wanted to make it a little bit easier for people to hit like critical breakpoints with things like CDR. So we've added some of these affixes.
You cannot swap an affix. For example, on your Shaco, you cannot swap the cooldown for something else.
Kind of topic that I want to hit is toughness. We got a lot of great feedback on toughness, and kind of the thing that we want to make better with toughness is for you to understand like where you need to be at.
Big number,
what is actually happening,
big juicy, can't die.
We made a couple of changes to really just provide you more information. First and foremost is we added in toughness to the item comparison. So like when you're comparing two
big
pieces
boy
of
can
armor,
die, big
it'll
number.
actually tell you like how much your toughness is going to change by a percentage amount. We added a bunch more information to the detailed stats pane for toughness. It'll tell you your effective DR per damage type and stuff like that now. And finally, in the difficulty selection screen, we added some minimum recommended toughness settings per torment tier. So you have like something to shoot for, an idea of where to shoot for, as you enter a new torment tier.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so a lot coming with itemization this season. I'm really excited for Sanctification. I feel like a lot of the feedback I was seeing was, even though it hasn't launched yet, is please don't take it out of the game. So not much we can do there, but definitely enjoy it for Season of Divine Intervention, that's for sure. But yeah, really exciting changes, and I'm pumped for the differences to tempering. That's going to be really, really, really nice heading into this next season. Yeah, I love it. Awesome. Okay. So next up, we do have some big changes coming to how we're going to move through the no longer season journey, now season rank. Aislinn,
yes.
How are things changing next season?
Yeah, well, we have 3 broad topics in my section here that I'm going to be talking through. The first is actually just general economy and leveling changes, I want to touch on a few things. So please clap. There's going to be, you're going to be able to teleport directly to the training grounds now. So that's great. Pretty awesome. And that's in addition to adding vendors to the training grounds that we did in PTR. So it's just a lot nicer quality of life.
Let's go. TP directly to the training grounds. Yes.
All waypoints, as long as you pick the appropriate campaign skip. So no more running around. You'll just be able to grab them immediately and, you know, zap wherever you want. And then the other economy and leveling thing we have is we took a big holistic look at Undercity rewards in general. So we found that they didn't feel like super focused when you went into the Undercity, and they also didn't feel like they were giving you appropriate loot at various points in the player journey. So we kind of just buffed the hell out of it. Like in general, like it's a lot better now. If you're low level and you go into the one that gives you experience, it will give you quite a bit more experience. Not, you know, 40 levels Maggot or Azmodan worth, but a good amount. And so I highly recommend you actually run your tributes. Like, they're super worth it now. They give you lots of great stuff.
We'll see if they're worth it or not.
So go in there and try out the Undercity.
And,
you know,
yes.
and Dara.
Honestly, I think a lot of people will be running 750 amulets next season. Because for the passives, it doesn't matter. And you don't really care about the strength for the most part too much. So yeah. I think a lot of people will be running 750 amulets even.
And if you don't even know what it is, it's this really awesome time-based mode. I promise. It's fun as hell. So definitely check it out. Yeah.
Do it. But yeah, moving on to season ranks, the new feature we added in the PTR. So we straight up just added 12 more Paragon points to the game that you get from that. So yeah, that's a thing now.
Wait, really?
They're going to be distributed in large and small clusters throughout the season rank system. It's also available on Eternal Renown as well. And then we also found that we were getting a lot of feedback about, like, oh, hey, the capstone rewards from actually beating a capstone dungeon don't actually feel significant enough for, like, how it feels like it should be. And so we increased the number of skill points you get from capstone dungeons from 1 to 2. So that's a bigger burst now. And the caches you get from them that give you loot are just, like, way better as well. So highly encourage you to go try out the capstones pretty much as soon as you're capable of doing it, because it's going to be
I'll do them all together once I finish the campaign.
Really feel it in your progression if you do a capstone early.
Yes, it's a big burst.
If you don't do the campaign, they do feel really good. The ones I did at the very least.
That were omitted from PTR, so there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in there, including laurels, which is a new thing in the season rank system. Nifty little laurel wreath that goes on your character's nameplate, so you can show off how good at the game you are.
Yes.
And there's also a golden laurel you can get from beating the last season rank, which is going to be pretty hard this season. It's going to take a lot to beat the last
I'm sure it'll be fine.
People that have been saying, like,
can capstones be farmed?
The game was asking me to do more things.
Technically, yes. I don't think there's anything for you that you want to do them for multiple times, but technically, yes.
Yeah.
That's
I think.
Exciting.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like with Season of Witchcraft, like seeing everyone flying around with Dorian, like seeing that extra kind of peacock, because now the pet that you're in this season will be rank 5. You beat rank 5.
Yes.
So now I feel like the laurel will be the new chase item to see. Once you're in town, see people walking around with their golden laurels. It'll be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
And I know like there was a lot of feedback in the PTR regarding how long it takes to defeat a capstone boss. Like I know you can go in, you can challenge the boss at any point. You feel powerful enough. But it's nice to hear that we have like kind of sped up that boss experience to make them a bit faster. Still very challenging, but you can complete them a bit more quickly. Very similar to like Indaro and Belial.
Nah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Should have left them harder. I don't know. I don't think they were that hard.
It's fairly snappy.
They're challenging, but not that hard.
You know, season over season. So we don't want you to feel like you're stuck in a capstone dungeon. So they're going to hit you harder, and really test your build and make sure that you're actually capable of beating them. But you're not going to be stuck in the fights and stuck in the dungeon for too long. We also kind of realized that optional objectives didn't exactly vibe with the concept of capstone dungeons too well. So now it's just get to the end,
the vibe.
You're done, you get all your great stuff, and you're out of there.
Okay, let's get to the Q&A, please.
Thematic pass on all the capstone dungeons. There's like not new tile sets, but like different tile sets in the capstones, and they really evoke the grim, like
the grim atmosphere of the Diablo franchise now. So pretty excited for you guys to check it all out. It's going to be great.
Yeah, with the return of capstones, you know, it's something that we had previously in the game, and a lot of them were really iconic and exciting, things like the Cathedral of Light and stuff like that. So getting these to kind of be leveled up and be that same kind of tier of
yeah, what about
place,
Cathedral of Light? It's just,
is
I remember that.
I'm super excited for people to see it.
Yeah. And I love the feeling like when you go to challenge a capstone dungeon, you're like, okay, I'm shooting the moon here. Like, we're going to see if this works. Like, I might die. That's fine. But being able to do that at kind of any point and be like, okay, I'm going to roll the dice. We're going to gamble here and see.
Cool, we got level 1.
It's a fun feeling. I like doing that and dying
Get in there.
far too much. So I love that they're coming back. It's great.
Me too. I love trying to see like how low level, like try to go in as low level as possible. So
for the ego check,
like,
right?
Maybe I could do the first one at level 20, and I'll probably be wrong.
At level 17. For the ego.
Twitch chat, Sare says, I want that sheep sweater. So got fans of the sweater in chat. Speaking of the sweaters, Owen, sweat levels. You starting to cut?
A little misty.
Yeah, it's starting to brew. Nothing too bad, but yeah.
I just noticed his left arm is actually a tattoo.
Cute sweaters, and then we're like, oh my god, it's gonna get so hot in here.
It's gonna get, yeah. There may or may not be some side bets in the production room as to when we start sweating. So
We're getting 3-on-3 right now.
so we're gonna have to cook on that. Unreal. Thank you for that, Aislinn.
Yeah, of course.
Now, Sir Charles, you're going to turn around a little bit here.
Yeah.
I feel like every season you've always got a ton of feedback to sift through. This PTR was no different. You know, there was a lot of feedback around the Sork teleport changes that people seem to be extremely passionate about. Amongst changes to a bunch of other classes. So yeah, curious what's changed from the PTR.
Definitely, yeah. I'll talk about that. You know, the Sork teleport changes was probably one of the biggest points of feedback on class balance and class tuning that we got. Basically,
Please tell me they
we
didn't
made some
revert
changes
it.
testing on PTR that made it a little harder for Sorks to really embrace that full teleport fantasy. And so we've looked at rechanging those around so that you can use the Oculus unique to really unlock this teleport build now. So made some adjustments. We still want you to be able to build into it and build into this like repeated chain teleporting kind of build, but it's going to really be empowered by the Oculus unique. Also on the topic of sorcerers, in the previous season, in Season of Infernal Chaos, we had Chaos perks. And one of the most popular and kind of fan favorite ones there was the Mana Shield Chaos perk, which converted your mana pool as a Sork into your health total. And so we said, hey, this has been really popular, really successful.
No one's going to use Selig as it is right now.
Heart of Selig, which was already trying to do something similar, but now that we had this this alternative version of it that we know was really successful,
it's not going to work.
Move it in there. On the PTR, we tested that out, and of course, there's some wrinkles with that. It goes from being a sorcerer-specific power on Season of Infernal Chaos to now everybody can get it with this mythic unique. And that caused a few problems, to put it lightly. Basically, there's a lot of effects in the game that say, you know, do something for every point of resource you have, or some modification there. And essentially, this would give you thousands and thousands of your resource, whether it be mana or fury or whatever per class. And that was problematic. So on a lot of the cases, we had to implement caps on them. Say, okay, this bonus only affects up to a certain amount of resource. And we have... players did not like that. You guys did not like those caps. They were kind of shoehorned in a lot of different places, really just to make this one unique work. And also, we missed a few of them on the PTR. Oops. So
I wonder which ones. I wonder which ones he's talking about, guys. Huh?
So instead,
I wonder which
post
ones.
PTR, we looked at Melted Heart of Selig and retuned it a little bit. We still wanted to keep that fantasy of my resource goes up. And my
it's trash now. What do you mean? It's trash. No one's going to use that, I don't think.
It's going to simply double your resource pool. Still a lot of bonus. And then the damage that you're taking is going to be converted at a ratio down to your resource. So it's not going to be a straight 1-to-1 like it was previously, because that's why we needed to give you tens of thousands to kind of make it equivalent to your health pool. Now it'll convert at a ratio. You'll still be very tanky. It'll still convert the damage to your resource as your life total, but it won't be breaking so many other aspects of the game. And of course, we've then removed all of those caps that we had implemented on the PTR across various legendaries and effects across every other class.
As a Sork main, I'm super excited, Oculus, to have teleport.
Yeah.
But also for everyone else who doesn't play Sork, they get to experience some of the cool stuff that we had in last season with the Melted Heart. So I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah, I feel like you're telling me that if Melted Heart of Selig drops, I should be excited.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot more powerful than it was in previous seasons. It's still going to be a very tanky item, and you can still unlock some synergies and interactions with that double.
But like you just run all those effects damaging ones, most likely.
Like they were on PTR, they were capped.
The Spark of Selig, still a Spark of Selig.
Powerful, unique.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Like,
sort of speaking about
amulets are just way too strong for damage.
The previous season, we've definitely heard the feedback, and I felt it myself. Some builds definitely felt like they were kind of lacking because they really relied on some of those perks or armor in the past. I played a whole lot of Spiritborn last season, and I loved having both Rod of Kapaleke and Sepizantek, something you can't really do. Won't be able to do.
Please talk about the legendary barbarian perk.
That way. And I think everyone here on the team has heard that feedback, and we really like the way that those systems interacted to kind of allow you to play new and interesting builds. We're going to be taking that feedback and looking for ways to reintegrate these types of effects and
please reintegrate
around the Chaos Perks and Chaos Armor.
That word, yes.
And so one example was that Melted Heart of Selig update, and we're going to continue to do that moving forward.
I think that's
the
one of the
shout,
reminders of like why
the shout perk
so
we needed.
We can do these we can do some crazy shit, and see what sticks and see what's fun. So it is really cool that like Chaos Armor did resound so well with players, and that it made a ton of fun different build combinations. So and neat that we're looking at it into the future, and it's a really cool spot.
Real quick, I also want to chime in.
It should make me take Hamlet to the give plus to 12 passives.
Season of Infernal Chaos.
Yeah, that would be very busted.
It was 10 anyway.
Season 10.
Right, yeah.
Numbers.
What do they mean? Yeah. One of the great things about the Season of Infernal Chaos was there were all these uniques that Charles was talking about. There was multiple avenues to collect those different uniques, and that's something that we wanted to carry through. We found that players didn't always enjoy just sitting in the boss layer, the layer boss game mode, and just slaughtering Duriel on loop for 4 hours straight. So we carried
4
that
hours.
into the Season of
That's
Divine
rookie
Intervention.
numbers.
We have a
What
lot
do you
of
mean 4
different
hours? You mean like 40?
Awesome mythics and uniques. And, for example, if maybe I really want a unique that only Andariel on the layer boss drops, well, you can go into Undercity and kill Andariel, and she might drop it. And then if she doesn't, she'll drop a Corrupted Essence that you could then pick up and take to the Hawazar Overland event. And if you defeat Azmodan there, you can get another shot by cashing that.
I didn't know that.
We
That's
want
cool.
to allow players to sort of choose their own path to the loot that they're looking for. So we're not sort of locking you in any specific activity. And you want those cool uniques, go run the pit and get a bunch of Corrupted Essences from Belial, and Belial's loot pool is everything from the layer bosses, so you can get it that way, right? And it's really up to you to play the game the way you want to play.
Yeah, it's so nice having that variety too, because like we've all been there where you start hitting the same boss over and over and over, and then you just start getting burnt out because you're like, God damn it, Duriel, come on! Like I know, you know what I want. You got to drop it. So having a few different avenues that just kind of keep it fresh and have some different ways to get those uniques is nice. Variety is the spice of life, after all.
Indeed.
What else? Oh, please drop your questions in Twitch chat. I'm just going to keep reminding people throughout the stream. We are collecting your questions. Do drop those. And I know, like, for Charles, too, like, he did touch on, like, definitely the highlights of the class balance changes that we got from PTR. But please do scan through the patch notes. They are 11,000 words, so they won't be hitting in all localizations immediately. We'll have them eventually, but the blog is out in all languages. So for any other nitty-gritty details, you can definitely go check those out there. Another thing we did take a big look at in the PTR this past season was the tower and leaderboards. It was really, really cool to see the arrival of leaderboards in Diablo 4. The tower was a really great experience where players could jump in. We had the chance to get a lot of feedback, do a lot of testing. Zavin, I know you're very busy with all the feedback you had for the players, and tell us a little bit about that.
So yeah, just 11,000 words. That's just for all this other stuff. It's thank you to everyone who's been playing the PTR. For people who didn't check it out, the tower and the leaderboard kind of feature is in the game in the beta format. It's something we haven't really done in the past, but the intention is this is a feature that we want to build.
Season 3, what do you mean?
We really want your feedback.
Yes, you have. What do you mean?
Over a long period of time, to put in the effort, to put in the work, but also make sure that it's being done.
Was it season 2 or season 2 that we had the
actually doing its job?
What's it called again? The thing that had 25 floors.
It's actually one of our pillars.
25 difficulties.
Diablo 4 mastery. That is what this mode should be highlighting. So it's not just, you know, kind of the tank and spank kind of stuff that we've seen in the pit historically. We want to add as much depth,
representation.
to the player's decision making here.
I'm gonna stay here. That's actually me spinning. See, that's me.
We anticipate it's going to be coming
That's
up
me.
more and more.
I'm in the
over
video.
time.
See?
But it kind of starts with this very stable starting point that we're trying to build with the tower. So again, thank you everyone for checking it out on the PTR. It will not be launching with the Season of Divine Intervention, however. The tower will remain locked. It will be coming back in the new year with patch 252. This is actually kind of just to make sure that we have some stability with the season launch, and then when the tower shows up, it's online.
Okay, so it's not going to be from the start. Okay.
But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about some of the learnings that we've got. You know, this is still a beta, and we haven't really developed a feature like this openly with the community with as much transparency as we're intending to have, I think, ever. So this is going to be a little bit of a different way that we're going to be talking about this, and we're going to be having a lot more kind of information dropping and discussions with the community over time. So look forward to that. But I kind of wanted to also take a little bit of time and just say, we know that the version that we have is kind of rough. That was the intention. We wanted to get eyes on it right away. We wanted to make sure that the version that we're committing to is the one that's right for the game, it's right for the community. So there's a couple big ticket kind of topics that we've seen, and I want to address a few of them. So one is fishing. If anyone ever played Greater Rifts in Diablo 3, yeah, it's a concept that kind of took over that mode a little bit, and it was really hard for us to battle. And I'll be honest, it's very easy for us to kind of, you know, turn off the capability to fish entirely. It's, you know, we just put a lever penalty or something on it, and we don't want to do that. We don't want to get ourselves into a position or get the tower into a position where you are having to play and finish a bad run, right? You messed up, you hit the wrong button, you know, something hit you when you didn't want it to, whatever it is. We don't want you to feel compelled or required to have to finish the run. So we want to do everything we can to preserve your ability to say, you know what, no, that run's
you
not
can now whenever you can kill Andariel.
So instead,
like,
the kind of idea is
every place you can kill Andariel, she can drop her drops there, for example. That's it.
Owen talked a little bit, I think, right, about some of the stuff we were doing on the elite affixes side, but this is something we're looking at for everything. So you know, there's a couple bosses that were, you know, misbehaving that we're looking at. They'll be taken away and spoken
to.
And someday they'll come back when they're doing better.
Yes, even in the open world.
Kind of on the environmental
like, for
side,
example,
right?
the
like,
Duel in the open world drops Duel loot.
As we call them. And some of them
not the same amount, of course, but it can drop Duel loot.
And the kind of competitive mode play than others. So we tried a bunch of them out kind of intentionally, and you know, one of them that we tried out was our cave. Just the old reliable standard cave. Yeah, caves suck. They're terrible for this. So they're out. They're out. They're not coming back until we actually solve the underlying issues with how do you make this, because they look beautiful. The art is amazing. Our art teams did a fantastic job, but they're not the right thing for this. So we want to aim at consistency and make sure that the mode is fun and exciting and competitive over just cramming visual variety in it just for its own sake. So some of that stuff we're anticipating is going to help solve the fishing problem. But it's not going to be something we're going to solve in a day. We know it's going to take time, and we're committed to doing the work necessary to get it to that healthy place.
At least they are aware it's a problem, so hopefully, you know, that's a good now.
When we say like total Diablo 4 mastery, it's not just your preparation, you know, getting your gear, your build in order, getting your tempers and stuff like that. It's not just that. It's also kind of the as you play. And a big part of Diablo 4 is you don't actually know exactly what's going to happen at all times. There's a huge degree of randomness and RNG that the best players can just deal with, no matter what. No matter what the game throws at them, they can deal with it. So we want to preserve that as much as possible. And there's other things like navigation in the environment and things like that that are other facets of skill expression for the player. So all this comes down to something as simple as progress orbs. So as you're playing through the tower and you kill elites, or if you're lucky enough to find a goblin, they'll drop orbs as you
fishing for the goblin.
And those orbs will drop on the floor, and you need to go and pick them up. And a big part of this is when it drops, your ability to navigate to that space, not get hit by whatever thing the elites are throwing at you or whatever, is again another facet of skill expression in the game. But we do recognize that in some cases, you know, you kill a guy and he drops the orb 7 miles the other direction going backwards, and it just sucks. So there are things that we're trying to do to have them drop a little smarter, to have them drop kind of towards the flow of play and towards the player who did the killing blow. So they still have to pick it up. They still have to deal with kind of the navigation of the world and, you know, all the hazards and stuff that are in play from the elites and stuff like that. But it's not like, oh, I have to backtrack in this dungeon to pick up the orb. This is something we can fine tune. We intend to fine tune as time goes on. But again, it's little things like that that we want to make sure we're listening to you guys, that we are building this mode in service to you guys to have that awesome competitive environment. Which is kind of the last big topic, I guess, is a lot of people noticed, hey, this thing's really similar to the pit. And it's like, yeah, it totally is.
Yeah, but it goes up instead of down.
The other kind of pillars that we've got is...
didn't think about that, did you?
You know, what we've called only in Diablo 4. So both modes share a lot of DNA.
Not the same thing. One goes up, one goes down.
Riffs from Diablo 3. And so they're very similar right now. But one of the reasons for that is the pit has been kind of a surrogate competitive mode because we haven't had something like the tower. So going forward, what we're actually looking to do is not just differentiate the pit, from the tower from where the pit is at, but also the pit as well. Both modes we feel need to kind of move away from where they are to be the best.
I like that they want to make pit more like
Players
just crazy stuff
a really
for
awesome
fun.
End game grinding mode like the pit, and they deserve to have a really awesome, stable, competitive mode like the tower. And there should be no compromise over which one wins if we're making one mode, right? So, fuck it, let's make two, and we'll make one for the people who want to do leaderboard, climbing, and we'll make one for the people that want to be grinding the end game. And both modes could be the best version of themselves, but that's going to take time. Right, and so tower is going to start very similar because it's starting at the same foundation, and over time it'll kind of change, it'll morph, it'll be its own thing, and the pit will suddenly have all this space that's freed up to occupy. It doesn't have to be kind of this pseudo competitive mode anymore. It can just be whatever it needs to be. It can be as crazy as we want. So
yeah, I love that. They're just gonna put it's just gonna open a pit and it's gonna be like 100 goblins. I'm like,
you know, I hope to see everyone on the leaderboards.
That'll be fun.
With 252.
Hell yeah. And
252,
to note
so
for people at home, you will not
the
see
first
patch
update,
notes
the second
for the
one.
tower, although we did make a huge suite of changes following feedback from the PTR, so expect that for patch 252, where we'll give you more updates related to
cool.
feedback we
Very
got
cool.
around like pylons and things
Boss
of that
health,
nature.
lots
Boss
of
health,
stuff.
yeah. So no, Zavin, that's fantastic. I know, we got so much feedback related to how much the pit and the tower do feel very similar. But for the people at home too, check out the blog because we do have a bit of an outline of how we are going to develop this. It's going to be in different stages, so your feedback will be critical as we develop this in tandem with you, just like Zavin said. So please keep giving us your feedback because this will help shape the mode to make something that's competitive and challenging and exciting, and something that you'll enjoy for a long, long time, which is awesome. So I hope you've been dropping your questions in chat because we will be
Q&A. Let's go.
Q&A. So I know we do have, there's a few burning questions that I feel like are on the top of everyone's mind, and we are going to kick it off with one question that we've definitely seen throughout, and that is, will Chaos Armor be coming back?
Yeah, I can start this off, and everyone else can feel free to join in as well. Right, I mean, Season of Infernal Chaos was like definitely one of our most successful seasons in terms of seasonal theme. Chaos Armor, people loved Chaos Armor. Everyone did. Players, devs, everyone loved Chaos Armor. And the Chaos Perks as well. They really enabled a lot of interesting builds.
Chaos Perks, yeah. The Chaos Armors,
and we're definitely
I love them,
to,
but they are too
and
strong, let's be honest.
As we make future updates. I mean, I was talking earlier about the Melted Heart of Selig and how that was inspired
Legendaries
by,
are useless, which is a big problem.
And I think everyone on the team here is really passionate about saying, hey, Chaos Armor was a resounding success. Let's take those learnings and apply them to our future updates. Right? We have
but not necessarily just
as Art discussed here.
Put all Chaos Armors back in.
That's our itemization system for the season here of Season of Divine Intervention. And it's definitely, we're looking at the lessons learned from Chaos Armor and thinking about where's the best way to bring back that build crafting, that variety, that chase. How do we best bring that back? Because just saying, oh, Chaos Armor just is now permanently part of the game comes with its own set of problems. And we want to make sure that we take the time to take the best parts of it and incorporate it in the game the right way.
Yeah. Chaos Armor was definitely designed as a seasonal mechanic, the first, right? Like, it was very powerful, and intentionally so, because we knew that it was going to be going away after the season was over. So totally agree, Charles, in the sense that, like, if we just were like, oh, actually it's staying, there would be big problems. And I think we'd all find, oh, wait, this isn't just sunshine and rainbows. So there are definitely a lot of really amazing things about it. And, Charles,
but hopefully they learned all the right lessons it gave.
I think you'll see it's
why it worked, why it made so many builds just kind of good,
definitely meant to be a flash in the pan and not
just
tune around for seasons and seasons to come. So
I think Class Team would hate us if we did that.
Hopefully the Barbarian perk is made into a legendary power or unique or something like that. That would be awesome. I would love to revive that build.
Say that base monster health is being increased. Does this also mean pit bosses?
Yeah, I can take that. No. Pit boss health is going to remain the same. They operate on different scalars, so it's referring to monsters, just regular monsters, not even elites or champions. They operate on their own thing. So, no, pit boss health will be the same as it always.
Just the smaller ones,
like not elites, not bosses, just the little babies.
The trash,
little babies.
Mow down.
Yeah.
The trash packs. Awesome, cool.
Little babies. Little babies.
Cool stuff. Love the new mode. Does it yield any loot though, or just leaderboard focus mode? I believe this is in reference
just for the glory.
Yeah. So sorry, what was the name?
The name was Never Justice.
Never Justice. All right. Thank you, Never Justice.
For the glory.
When it launches with 252, there's not going to be a reward layer or anything like that. Part of this is making sure that if we're going to attach cool stuff to this mode, it better be stable. The community needs to accept it. They need to look at it and say, like, that is a competitive mode that has integrity, that has competitive integrity. And we just want to be really mindful that, again, this is something that
the
we're
bugs.
Doing. We're launching this with a beta test.
How will they handle the bugs? That's what I'm wondering. Like, will they just clear the leaderboards when that happens?
This thing, or I found an exploit or whatever. We really are being really careful to make sure we don't endanger all the other cool stuff that we've got in the Season of Divine Intervention with this. That being said, the plan is eventually 2 tracks of rewards. One for people that want to kind of compete against themselves. What is the best I've done in the tower? And then another one for people who are really focused on the leaderboard, right? How far have I risen above others in the leaderboard? And then making sure that both these kinds of groups of players are rewarded for their effort. Functional rewards like items and gear and things like that, currencies, but also cosmetics. And we'll have more detail on this kind of in the coming year, but look forward to it.
The coming year, damn, it's going to be a long one.
On this stuff.
Absolutely. And one other tidbit of info I do want to include is that your access to the tower will be through the season rank system. So I believe it's rank 3 that you need to complete.
Wasn't it rank 2?
That gives you access to the tower.
I think it's ranked 2.
Rank 2.
See, I knew it.
Before early next year, which but that is the key piece of info. So
one quick thing to add, besides the reward track, just to answer the question at a fundamental level, the monsters inside the tower don't drop loot.
But they do give XP. You're always paid for your time.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited about the personal reward track. I'm looking forward to it because I don't think I'm going to be a Giga gamer and getting to the top ranks, but at least I can get something for climbing. That'll be good.
As a filthy casual myself, it's nice to have stuff for the rest of us. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sweating right now.
See the rest of you on the hardcore board.
The hard
fighting words out.
Yeah, seriously.
Durka Utka at Diablo. Is Asmodan in the game forever, or is he just for this season?
Yeah, I can take that one. Asmodan and his 2 nipple rings are here to stay. So
that's why I really keep mentioning it. Why?
No, just kidding. So to be specific about it, Asmodan as the world boss will stay in the rotation moving forward. So all lesser evils will be in the game, and you can kill them all. for all the seasons to come. Specifically, the How Is Our event, where you like interact with the shrines and you trade in the corrupted essences and that sort of stuff. That's seasonal only. But as in World Boss will be in Eternal and around forever.
Asmodee and Stan, baby. I love it.
Nice. Oh, there he is.
Oh,
oh my
it's
God.
me.
What a cute face.
Yeah.
Oh.
Scroll down.
Iggy_101. As an odd question, there's no odd questions. What happens
I
to
believe
the
you
players
did.
who play the seasonal realm now? Do they get these skill Paragon points through the seasonal rank? But then if they go to Eternal, do they have to do the Renown over on Eternal? Okay, interesting.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So they're
Maybe?
actually linked. So
Oh.
if you go onto the seasonal realm and you earn your progression in the seasonal realm, you will actually also earn it in the Eternal realm. So like if you get those skill points, if you get those Paragon points, it will unlock in the Eternal realm as well. It will not carry over if you get them in the Eternal realm and go to the seasonal realm though. So you still have to re-earn the seasonal stuff.
Hell yeah. Why So Blue Panda Bear? Do the new cosmetic titles, like the final Golden Laurel, one you just mentioned, do they last just during the season, or is it permanent? And is that a character-wide unlock, or is it only for the one that you completed that season rank on?
Character-wise, probably
the Golden
permanent, I
Laurels, the
guess.
Gilded Laurels, those will be seasonal only. So you can show everyone in the world how amazing your seasonal characters are for that season, but you will have to go into a new season and earn the new Gilded Laurel in the new seasons that come. So you're going to have to grind all over again, be a sweaty nerd. You know, we love that stuff over here. And I believe that it is account-wide. So if you get it on one character, you know, basically your account for that season.
I mean, it has to be because you can only complete it once, right? No matter how many characters you make.
All right.
Or it has to be.
The Dude Thor, at Diablo, how long after launch will the tower and leaderboards release? For many people, that's the main feature we're interested in. As we mentioned, that'll be hitting early 2026, so we'll have a nice holiday vacation, we'll have a break, and then we'll reset. I know personally, across games I've worked on where things have launched prior to Christmas, it can be good, it can be bad. And I know that leaderboards in the tower is definitely something that will be much better to chew on post-holidays. So, yeah, early January. Okay. Cody 4PF. Can we reduce teleport enchant cooldown with CDR or evade cooldown reduction?
Look at him.
I don't recall that off the top of my head.
That is a very specific question.
Very specific question. Definitely take a look at the patch notes. This is one of those caught in the 11,000 words of the patch notes. Definitely go and check that out. It'll have all the details in there.
Unreal.
Dope.
Dirk, we already got a question from Dirk. I'm sorry, Dirk. We did answer one of your questions already.
Yeah.
Farid, what is meant with the damage drastically reduced in the new Melted Heart of Selig tooltip?
Yeah, so I kind of alluded to it a little bit there. Previous version of Mana Shield, the Chaos perk from the previous season, converted damage at a 1-to-1 ratio. If you used to take 100 damage, that your life would go down by 100. Instead, your mana would go down by 100. Now that's been, there's now a conversion ratio where if you would take 100 damage, it doesn't do 100 mana damage. It does a much smaller amount. It does, I don't know the exact number of the conversion off the top of my head as well, but basically it'll do less than that amount. So it functionally provides a damage reduction in a way, and so the goal here is that it is still a very good tanky item. Even though it's only doubling your mana pool, it's not giving you tens of thousands, it'll feel approximately as tanky as you would have been if you had had that much and it was the 1-to-1 conversion.
Yeah, I mean, it's a mythic item, so like the conversion is going to be very powerful for your defense.
Yeah.
Okay. We've been getting a lot of questions in chat, but this one specifically from Anchor Ruin. Why the 2-day delay? Is every next season going to start Thursday instead of the standard Tuesday? We'll let you know when the next season comes out, but for this season, we're just starting on a Thursday. And it's going to be 8:30 p.m. when it starts to roll out. So stay tuned for that. I know it'll be different for us. We'll be up a little bit later, but
it's gonna be after the Gamescom, I believe. Not the Gamescom, the Games Awards thing.
way too late.
Yeah, it's gonna be a late one. It's gonna be a late one. But hey,
it's gonna be early for me. I think it's gonna be like 8 in the morning for me.
Okay.
That's actually healthy for me. I can just wake up and just play the whole day instead of playing the whole night.
Okay. See a bit. How much resistance and armor rating is needed to be on par with Cap in Season 10?
Yes.
I have no idea how to plan my character with the changes to defense.
Yeah, just yes.
I'll take that one. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we added recommended toughness values to the difficulty selection screen. So like when you're choosing a Torment 1, Torment 2, Torment 3, Torment 4, in that tooltip, it'll say, we'll give you a recommended toughness value to shoot for. And that
Friday morning in Portugal?
A level of defensive that should make you feel comfortable enough to start
think so,
playing
yeah, it should be.
You can think of this as analogous to hitting Cap in the previous system, but even if you really remember, like even if you capped armor and resistance in the old system, you could still get one tapped. So
you could still get
the new recommended toughness values are actually a little bit more reliable of a way to tell you must be this tall to be in this difficulty tier than the old capped system.
Just go glass cannon.
It must be this tough to jump on this roller coaster. Yeah, I love it. Question from Oh my God, get good. Question, great name. Great. Question for devs: how are you going to ensure the leaderboards are fair?
Yeah. So I think when it comes to fairness, we have sort of limited tools with what we have in the game today. I think to get what people are really hoping for. Which is a way to measure players of their own effort against other people. So it's not going to happen in a season of Divine Intervention, and we don't actually have a specific date to talk about right now, but we have talked about...
The only way you can do it is if you have locked builds, and everyone has to play the same exact build.
And
that's the only way you can do it.
It's not a one-to-one conversion.
For it to be 100% fair.
In Diablo 4, we have our shared open world as just like a big difference, right? So we have to kind of sort a lot more complex.
I don't think they'll ever do that.
But it is something we're committed to doing. So
kind of goes against the whole thing of gearing your character, which is kind of what ARPGs are about, right?
Go a long way to kind of ensuring that there's a lot of integrity and fairness in the leaderboards. The other part of this is balance, right? Making sure that the various classes they at least have some degree of parity, and that the results from the tower have some parity, right? There's not just a trash tier run that is possible because you got the worst environments, the worst monsters, the worst pylons, and the worst boss, and things like that. So that's something that's going to be massaged kind of over time.
I honestly hope they don't spend way too much time on this. I want this for myself, but this is not really important for the overall kind of game. So I hope they're not spending too much time on it.
Right? We always have new classes.
Like I'd rather they spend a lot more time on the rest of the game because that's better for everyone.
With everything else, we're hoping that we get a lot of stability, and that should ensure
this is basically for like the top 1% to mess around in.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
for the most
like
part.
You said, it's going to be an iterative mode. We're going to keep tweaking it season over season, so that feedback is critical. And like you said, Zavin, those bosses that we had temporarily are going to be in the old cave dungeon, tucked away for a little bit.
Yeah, they get to go together.
Yeah, they can just hang out over there.
Straight to jail. Yeah. Straight to jail. Straight to cave dungeon. Awesome.
You get to the basement.
Make America Skate Again. Question: from the new season rank feature, will you be
the really funny size when it's like
points, not Paragon, just all the skill points by the time you're level 60?
5 to 6 a.m. there? Maybe it's even earlier here than.
It kind of depends on.
We'll see.
How quickly you choose to pursue the objectives, but it is theoretically possible.
Today I woke up at 2 a.m., so I'm already ready, I guess.
Like what objectives you're focusing on. You might get 1 or 2 skill points after you're level 60, but if you're specifically gunning for them, yeah, absolutely.
Unreal. Okay, well, thank you, everyone. That brings us to the end of Q&A.
Not a lot of stuff I said on the Q&A,
thank you to everyone
for the most part.
Being here. Thankfully, I don't know. Oh, and it hasn't gotten too hot. It's been okay. It's been okay. Haven't gotten too sweaty. So thank you all for tuning in and watching. For Season of Divine Intervention, we will have a reliquary that will be coming out, which you can go and check out. For everyone who's interested in the new season, our blog and patch notes are live. The patch notes are 11,000 words. The blog is quite long as well, so you've got a lot to read and catch up on over the next little bit.
Frankly, the patch notes scare me. There's a lot.
They're big. They're big. Control F won't save you this time. They're substantial. They're very substantial. But yeah, we've got tons hitting with the new season. Like I mentioned, we've got those early career rewards that are going to be hitting, and then we've got our new seasonal pet.
Dude, I want the wolf and the mount.
Lovely, beautiful bird.
Oh, look at those wings, dude.
As you can go and grab that from rank 5.
Those wings are sick as hell.
For the next season, just a brief overview, we have Sanctification that's going to be specific to Season of Divine Intervention. Hadriel's back with the Divine Gifts. And then we will have those new seasonal ranks and capstone dungeons for you to go out and conquer to get those seasonal rewards. To sum all of that up, we've got this excellent infographic that has all the information you need. This will live on the blog as well, and we'll have this in all languages. But yeah, take a gander. There's lots to feast on.
Oh, I cannot show my mouse, but like these wings down here, that back piece,
so we're really
love it.
That. And the day after the season goes live, we will have Twitch drops for you.
Oh,
so watch
nice.
any eligible channel for 2 hours, and you'll get the Barbute Hacker one-handed cosmetic. Pretty
that
gnarly,
looks cool as hell.
Stuff. But to
I would say
reiterate,
it's gnarly,
Season
but
of Divine Intervention goes live on December 11th, and the season's going to start rolling out at 8:30 p.m.
December 11th.
So that's
when is the Game Awards? Is the Game Awards in the 10th or in the 12th?
Don't go anywhere, because after the stream, we will be raiding Woody Joe. So go shower him with some love and go have a great time there. And a very important reminder, on December 11th, tune into the Game Awards. Now I'm going to repeat that. Look at me.
What are they gonna talk about?
Tune into the Game Awards. All right. Thank you all for being here.
What are they gonna talk? They're gonna drop something on us randomly, aren't they? They're gonna drop something random on us. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think this is the. I don't think it's the expansion. I really feel like it's something else. Like if it was the expansion, I don't think there would be so much. Because they've been quite forceful about telling people to go. I think it's gonna be something different. Because like the expansion, it's still like 6 months away or something. I don't. A new class, maybe. I would find it weird because, well, at least the last class came with the expansion, but we'll see. Maybe it could be. Okay. My theory, right? Mammalith is coming back. No, like, I don't know if you guys know. Look, it's Woody. Look at him. Anyway, Woody.
I think it's very obvious that
it's by Woody. One thing that I want to point out is Games Awards statue. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. Where is it? This is not. No, don't take me to the eye mode. Get me out of here. This one, exactly this one. The Games Award just showed like a random location. I believe it's in America, and they just showed like coordinates. And if you went there, you saw this. You saw this statue. People been theorizing, and a lot of theories have had already been officially kind of denied. But one thing I do want to point out is that they denied a lot of games, but when it came to Diablo 4, what they said was, this is not about Diablo's 4 expansion. Oh, this is not about Diablo's 4 next expansion. They specifically said, they didn't just say this is not about Diablo 4, they said this is not about the expansion for Diablo 4. They specifically said it only for Diablo. All the other games, they just denied that it was about the game, but about Diablo, they specifically said it's not about the expansion. So it might be about Diablo, just not the expansion. What that could be, up to debate, but yeah. Anyway, guys, we're gonna end the stream here. This was already gonna be a short one. We're gonna be running Chronics on the Twitch side. And if you want to know the patch notes, I already looked at them before the actual Campfire, because they released it like 1 hour earlier. So I'm gonna put the video out for those if you want to check those out. I'm gonna have it on the YouTube channel. But yeah, guys, on the Twitch, bye-bye. I'm gonna send you to Chronics. See you guys over there. On the YouTube side, look out for some videos, because I'm gonna start publishing the videos for, Diablo 4. All the new content. See you guys. I probably will not stream tomorrow, but I'll be getting a lot of videos out. So yeah, bye-bye, guys. See ya around, or if you only watch the streams whenever the new season starts. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.